moving goalposts, moving meadows, Petty Pelosi. I wonder if Nancy Pelosi knows Javita Carranza's name. Hey, good afternoon. Actually, good evening. This is LALATE, and I wonder if Javita Carranza has Nancy Pelosi in her speed dial of her phone. This is Evenings LALATE, and this is our 1 hour programming block that starts every night with a check and then goes to EIDL. Tonight on EIDL, great news and exciting news as I go more into the depth about that $150,000 loan you can get from SBA at sba.gov for the EIDL loan process. It was established under the CARES Act. It's still live. You can still go get some money up to $150,000. The amount of the loan is based upon your 2019 earnings. They do base it also upon your 2020 prospective earnings if you're a new business. You would basically have to submit a pro forma showing where you're going. But if otherwise it's based upon 2019 earnings, the calculation is very simple. Cost or gross rev 2019 minus cost of goods sold divided by 2. In a day in which we've talked about stimulus checks and stimulus packages and people not remembering people's names and it sounds a little bit eerily familiar to someone that kept on moving goalposts on us early on this channel. If you don't recall, SBA kept on changing things and couldn't figure out what they wanted to do. SBA EIDL loans initially were a hot mess express unto themselves because Javita Carranza, who is a Republican nominee, is a huggy buddy with Mark Meadows, couldn't really make up her mind what she wanted to do with things. Sound a little familiar. So as we sit here tonight, there is still some questions. And for the first time ever, I'm going to be doing something totally new. So I'm very excited. Let's get right to it. Back in the day, when I started this channel for EIDL, I had so much fun and truly adored and had a real emotional connection with my viewers because I would take on set I would take on set a printout of all the comments people left from the EIDL grant and EIDL video the day before. There was 2 videos per day. And I would read the comments. That's when there was about 200 to 500 comments per day. And I would go through them. And looking at all the EIDL videos the last few days, everyone's talking about my shirt or Nancy or Stevie, but not talking about EIDL. However, I'm getting EIDL questions elsewhere. And so for the first time ever, I'm going to be going over them now. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over things that are happening in the private regarding EIDL. I'm not going to be saying the person's name because these are not public comments, but I'm going to be going over what questions and concerns and my answers, if I have them at all, of how to fix these problems so you have guidance like we did back in the old day. So let's get right to it. The mentor notes that one person is applying for their 3rd loan. 3rd loan? That's a lot of businesses. But never even told the mentor that they had gotten approval on the 1st loan after the mentor had helped them. Tacky. I mean, is this Nancy Pelosi's petty sister? If you use the mentor to assist you and you don't tell them that you won your loan, and then you come back and say, can you help me again? And you don't even mention that, by the way, the one you helped me on before, I got it. Petty. I just, no, I'm not going to say who it was. So let's turn to another person. All right, so this person is trying to unfix their loan. Their loan was, okay, this is what's interesting. Their loan was approved, but they're not getting the funds from SBA. And I've seen this a lot lately. I mean, back in the day, what I would say is call SBA and ask them, where's the money? I mean, where's my money? This is where you've accepted the loan, they've accepted the loan, it says completed. It actually says completed in the portal and you've not received the money. You really need to call SBA on something like that. Here's someone with a comment about stimulus. Here's a comment of someone about something else. Okay. So here is, I've had a few people in the last few days that had EIDL loan offers. They accepted it and bam, rejected. Now, you got to understand, this is not unusual. This is, I had thousands of these back in the day where you accepted a loan and it was denied. There was a lot of reasons why if you accepted it, suddenly it was denied. One, credit. Two, you just were offered something too high by the computer system and didn't match your calculation. What do I mean? Well, remember that cost of goods sold, a gross rev minus cost of goods sold divided by 2. Let's say the number comes to like 30,000 and the offer was $100,000. It's still not clear why the computer would ever offer you that amount that was more than your calculations, but it does. And so people would accept it and then say, oh, I thought I was only going to qualify for 30. I'll accept 100. Bam, denied. There are some viewers who actually caught that problem in the first time around and said, no, I think I'm going to get a denial if I accept this. So drop it below the number to where you actually think you'll qualify, and they got approval. Back in the day, I used to also report a lot that if you had a low loan offer, like a really low loan offer, like $4,000 or $5,000 or $6,000, and you did the calculation, you thought you're entitled to a lot, that was usually an indication that you're going to get a denial, that you're going to accept it and that's going to be denied. And that if you got a high loan offer, when I mean high, I mean really high, I mean 80,000 to 200,000 or more, that was likely approved, that it wouldn't really trigger that out. Here is a person that was, I've had a few viewers overnight in the last few days that got denied for their loans that were pending. They accepted, went to pending, and it suddenly got switched to denied. They didn't know why. You need to contact SBA. I mean, you have to contact SBA. So this person called SBA, and she said to the person that she thinks it's because his cost of goods sold was zero. Interesting. I've had a lot of people over the time who have had this cost of goods sold number really cause problems during the loan process. I've had it go different ways. I've had it where the number was too high, the loan officer adjusted the number, said the person put the wrong number in there, and got the person a higher loan offer, and it got approved. I've had other times where the cost of goods number was zero, and SBA didn't think it should be zero, thought it was untrue, and then looked at your tax return and said, no, this is just not believable. Sorry, I can't loan you based upon this way. I've had other viewers that had a whole problem with cost of services rendered, and I've had inconsistent responses from that about SBA. First, I've had some people where they are a service organization, they listed cost of services zero, SBA said fine, and gave them a loan. I had people where they had cost of services number listed, it was like $10,000, and SBA said, you don't have to list that number. It should have been zero. So there has literally been no consistent policy by SBA about cost of services rendered. Sometimes they say it should be used in the calculation instead of goods. Other times they say it should not. That could have been one of the reasons for this viewer. Here's another person. So this person had this is an interesting one. So this person had a loan offer, but it didn't say a number. It said zero on hold in the portal, which is something I've never seen before. Zero on hold, and not sure why it says zero on hold. The person wanted $150,000, but was happy with $24,900. Well, I mean, you got to be realistic. You can't just say I want $150,000. You have to be qualified for it based upon your 2019 earnings. This person's credit score was 585. Didn't know if 590 is enough. Yeah, 585 is not strong enough. I think it's too risky. I mean, basically, when you do credit, when SBA is going to do credit, it's going to drop about 5-10 points. So you don't want to risk that. Um, Here's a person who had a 556 credit score. That's not going to work at all. You got to get it up. As I said to this viewer, you got to aim for 590. If you're somewhere close, call up Experian and do the boost. It's free. 20 points, it'll jump up. It's free. Get some adverse entries removed. I got to tell you, I'm not going to be rude or, I'm going to give you tough love. Calling up Experian to get adverse entries removed is part of the process. And if you don't want to go through the process to do that, then you shouldn't be getting a loan, because the loan requires a certain amount of work. I have viewers who have worked on getting their loan all the way from March to July, hundreds and thousands of hours calling and calling and calling. And there's a lot of people who just started the process in July that think they can just simply walk in and get a loan the next day. I understand your economic situation may be very dire and you need the money right now, but that's not to say you don't do work. And so a lot of people just don't want to do anything lately, and I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's just a lot of lazy people. Call up Experian. It doesn't take a lot of work. You can get it done within less than a week. It's a few phone calls. You get those adverse entries removed. You'd only need like 1 or 2 or 3 adverse entries removed. That will be a 20, 30, 40 point jump. You'll get the boost 20 more points, and you'll be done. I just don't know why people in this July application group tend to not really want to do very, very simple tasks. Because I have viewers from, March that went through incredible hurdles. Now, loan increases. Oh my goodness. A lot of chat about loan increases. Really, really hard. People who are already funded and are going back to SBA for another round of loans, very difficult. What else do we have in here? I had someone the other day that was an artist, and SBA is causing a little problems as well. So understand there's certain industries like arts and real estate that they just cause problems. And then there's some people that are just having problems with verified identity and getting checking and funds actually routed to them, even though they're approved. What I got to tell you is that I don't want you to think that things are easy, but I don't want you to think things are hard. These are not difficult things. These are just not difficult tasks. So below in the sticky pinned comment, I have in there a link to how to get into the private. Things are backed up. I'm very, very busy. I sound like Miss Quad on Marriage is Medicine. I'm very, very busy. I'm very busy at the moment. So if you hit me up, I may not respond to you quickly. I apologize. So go into the private. There's 2 mentors there. They're really wonderful. They can help you. And do me 3 favors. One, if you like this video, which I know you do, hit that like button. I mean, take your scarf and just smack the like button with your scarf. Then go over to the subscribe and alert button. Hit that subscribe and hit that alert, so you get an alert every time Jovita Carranza changes the scarves, which is really like, no, she does change them. And then coming up tomorrow morning is Mornings LALATE, which, wow, thank you for tuning in. 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's now the net's most watched morning news show. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.